Okay, this is the XJO, and we have the weekly chart. I've got a couple of bigger lines there to look at. I've also tagged a few high volume lines. If we can just zoom in there again, there's a big high volume bar there that's acted as our support in the past, where they were accumulating in the past. Broke through there, now it's acting as a band of resistance, and is still acting as resistance to the price even this week. So I'll just zoom in a bit closer there. We've also come up and tagged the this downtrend line that's still in place on the weekly chart. And we've tagged it. We've tried to go up on no demand past that area and close low. It's a down bar on less volume, so technically low supply as well, but not a very weak, not a very strong bar either way. And we're looking now for we've got our no demand, we've got our weakness in the background, we've got our no demand, and we would now be looking for an up thrust or something like that, hunting the stops like we got over here to give us a short. Now the Dow's had a really good day, a strong day, so we'll just have to see if we get that, or for a short setup, or if we're just going to follow the Dow and have a run up, and that's probably quite likely, but you never know how our market reads things. So we've got the area above us. If it were to break out, we've got the high here at 4457 in between there. So if it wanted to break through there, and if it broke through and retested on light volume, that would be good. But at the moment, we're still within our bit of our range there, and we still don't have a higher pivot low. Well, we do have a higher pivot low actually on the weekly. We do have a higher pivot low. We've got cancel. And we've tagged. We've broken through the middle. Actually, we've broken through the middle line there, haven't we? Ducked over the middle line. You can say, well, they've tested that. They've broken through the center and tested on low volume, perhaps. Then we can have a look if we wanted to run and follow the Dow, which is probable. You've got, you've got the top of a little speculative channel here that we can have a look at, and all the way up to the 4457, and we've got our pivot low there. We probably should draw a line in there, because that's going to be an important level. What low was that? That was 447740. So let's draw that in now. Because that'll be a level, that'll be, if we do rally now, that'll be where we could run into some problem. And but if we did get up there, we'd have a little uptrend going then, and we would have broken away from this downtrend from April, and we'd have to start paying attention to our strong bars when they appeared. So and that might give us the opportunity to, if we were to test and reject that area and then come back and retest on top of some of our high volume bars here, or on top of this range here, then that would probably give us a good confirmation that there's some strength in this chart. I'll just go to the daily there. Just no. So this is the daily XJO. I'll just tag these highs here, because that's where it seems to be following at the moment. I've tagged it again and come off. So we've had our shakeout here over 3 days, high volume down, spreads narrow, and then the next bar after going lower closes high, so there must have been some absorption there absorbing all that selling. So there's some buying coming in. It was all selling. We couldn't close on the high like that, and that's given us a spring up. And we're getting no demand as it goes down. They come back, they spring again. Again, we're getting no demand, and we start this little downtrend and push further into testing this bar here. And then we get narrowing spread as it goes down, and then increase in volume as it goes up, and then she starts to roll a bit, giving us a combination of strong and weak bars. We're start getting some testing, a bit of no demand, some confirmation of no demand, narrow spread up, knocked back. The last bar was quite weak as well. You could say it was a bit of testing or a bit of no demand, and we're probably going to test now with that good day on the Dow. We're most probably now going to attack this top of this trading range we're in, and I'll probably mark it. You've got your pivot high there at 4354. You've got the top of this downtrend line, which will be good to get out of for the bullish side. And we've got that low volume, and then we've followed through with a wide spread on increased volume and spread. Then that would give us that would be very bullish, and that's quite possible. If we were to get an up thrust though and close low, then that wouldn't be so bullish. But we'll just have to see what we get now. I might just go to Pro Real Time now because I want to put in some pitchforks. But as we can see, there's low volume. There's not a lot of professional activity here, and it started to roll as it does when that happens. But not a lot of selling pressure either. They're just gradually drooping over. But no reason why they can't shoot that up, because there's not a lot of sellers, not a lot of selling pressure in that area. So with that good day on the Dow, we should get a nice good move, and those who only trade long should probably get a nice good a good day for trading on Monday. So yeah, anyway, I'll go to Pro Real Time. I've got some old pitchforks here I don't have volume on Pro Real Time for some reason, but I've got some pitchforks, and I've got our bigger one, which I'll go to the weekly on this one, which we've broken down from. We'll try to break back up and rejected. So hopefully we can regain that on the weekly. What else can we look at? I might go to the daily because I've got that on the daily anyway. We had this black pitchfork here that we had from ages ago. That's when it was, we had a HR failure, a Hagopian rule failure, as it's tagging the underside of this pitchfork, and then it failed. And Hagopian's rule says it goes past the previous pivot oftentimes when it does that. And it certainly did that, and it's come down, zoomed straight through past the first warning. It's gone and tagged actually the second warning of that original pitchfork twice now. Now I hadn't looked at it for a while, and I just noticed it the other day. So Dan tagged, had a spring up. We should really tag the underside of this first warning here again, otherwise we're going to end up with another HR failure, which will take it down. But anyway, we may get that when it on Monday. We'll just have to see, or Tuesday or next week. We've still got our downtrend here that we had on the other one. The only thing I'll say about it, if I put an uptrending pitchfork there from the recent swings, is we missed the median line. Unlike the Dow, our markets missed the median line. So in that respect, our swing has not been as strong as the Dow, as the one we saw on the Dow, because the Dow has made it past and through, oscillated around its median. Ours we failed to reach the median again, and That's normally not a good sign, and that might see us yeah, that's not generally a good sign. We can have a look at if I put a pitchfork there, so we had a good downtrending fork there. If I put some, I'll get rid of this one here, I'll put some warning lines on there, 300, so zoom through, that's not really telling us a lot. We do have one possibly right here, so we do have a bit of an uptrending fork there. So if we're using these most recent swings here, we do have an uptrending pitchfork, and we should now respect that. With that good day on the Dow, you would think we should respect that bottom tine there and go revisit the median line at least at the top of our range. We're still waiting to break out of our range, which is basically from, I'm just taking it from these 3 bars here. So if we get a nice good break out of the range and back test on our market, that'd be good, but it's not. But if we start up thrusting now and closing low, then we start getting some short setups. If I just ignore the Dow, I'd still be watching for an up thrust to short it. If we did get that, that would mean that our market's not very trusting of that move up on the Dow, but I think we should have a good day. Reality is you'd expect us to have a really good day, strong day on Monday, and we might even get to tag the median line or revisit at least the top of our downtrend channel here. If we can get away from that, it's good. We do have an up move, a bit of an up move from our last pivot low. We're looking for a test, hopefully on top of this on really light volume, but you may not get that, but you never know, we'll just have to see. If we were to break out above this 4276, roughly the top of this, and back test, that would be good. And then we could look at, we've got some then we've got our pivot low up there at the 4468. We can have a look at as well once it gets up there to see what sort of how it reacts when it gets to that area. So I tend to like the Dow better than I like our market, because the Dow at least has a valid uptrending pitchfork. Allows, just color that in black. Ours where we've got this one here. I'll get rid of these lines as well. It's missed the median line, and that's generally showing some weakness. But and oftentimes when you miss the median line, it'll come back at least to test the lower tine or even take out the pivot low, but not always. So we'll just have to see. So anyway, we've got areas to watch. We've got the top of our range, which is around the 4276, the top of this bar here. We've got the pivot high, the pivot low over here that we broke down from at the 4477. And we've got the median of the black still there as well. We've got our downtrending line to watch as well. We've got the undercarriage of our, we've got our first warning on our bigger black pitchfork to have a look at as well. And then we've got this very steep red pitchfork here. It's probably a little bit too steep, but we'll just see how we go. But if I just ignore the Dow, it's acting quite weak, and you'd be watching for a short setup. But if we just follow the Dow, then we may put in a very good day on Monday, and we'll just have to see how our market responds to that. But at the moment we're still within our range. got on the daily, we've got our pivot low here. We haven't made a higher pivot low yet, so that probably change on next week. We should put in another pivot low, you would think, a higher pivot low, and then if we can break out of this range, then we can start taking on some of our other weak areas above and look for some nice good entry points on the long side. And if we do keep going up, then we start looking, if we do break out of this range, then we've got to start paying attention to our strong bars when they appear, and not give as much weight to our weak bars. But we've got to get out of this range first. So let's see if we can do that next week, or if we get some more weakness as we get to the top of the range. We'll just have to see. So anyway, that's the XJO.